My very first memory of Cody was the morning of the attack. I was the therapist that was on call that evening, and went down to the Children's Advocacy Center, where then I met April and her stepfather and her biological father and Cody. And my impressions of her initially was shocking to see what this person had done to her.
It was like almost an out-of-body experience. You know, you're looking down at this horrific scene in front of you, your 5-year-old daughter, and what she's going through, and you're trying to find words to make it better, and there's no words.
And I don't think I've ever had that feeling where you've done all you've done, you've used everything you had, and still felt absolutely heartbroken about something. It was a feeling I think universally shared by everyone that had the occasion to be out that night and involved that night. It was that significant. It was that life-changing. It clearly changed my life.
My fears were for her that if she didn't deal with this, if there wasn't a way that we can help her through this, this little girl was going to have a very long future ahead of her. I treated lots of kids before that had nowhere near the level of trauma that she had that morning, that have such much more significant symptoms than Cody does. But it's there. It's just, she just tries to keep it as inside as she possibly can.
She shut down. She wasn't that bubbly 5-year-old girl anymore. To go outside by herself was an issue. To leave the room without me to even go to the bathroom was, Mom, you have to come with me. And that was something that was never present with her before. She talked to everybody, always smiling, always happy.
As we moved forward, some troubling things started to develop and some concerns about how is she doing? Is she going to come through this okay?
I saw her that weekend. She came to see me for the first time in my office that Wednesday. We weren't breaking through anywhere. She trusted me. She felt comfortable with me, but it just didn't feel like the office space was going to work. It felt like it was maybe just too clinical, too hospital-like for her. And she had gotten this horse, Strawberry. And I'm thinking, why don't we go up to this farm that her great-grandma lives on, and see if she'll respond to me in a safer environment, somewhere that feels more comfortable for her. So we went up. I went up with her and I rode with her. From that point on, her trust in me had changed significantly. She began to open up a little more. She would walk me around the farm, holding my hand, showing me all the different animals. But it was very encouraging for me riding a horse.
I had begun to understand some of the new and innovative things her therapist was engaging in with April, with her family, and with her. I started to be hopeful.
I put together this PowerPoint that was supposed to be 7 slides. It turned out to be 86 slides of the start, July 5th, with Anne and everything. And the fund was called the Marley Fund for our family. And that kind of morphed into MarleysMission. And I got an A on the PowerPoint, and I burned, must have been 10 copies of the PowerPoint. I dropped one off at Jean's office, one at Mary Ann Laporta's office, and one with Ann Cook. And so nervous, just with a note, what do you think? Can we do it?
That day that I got a little disc that had MarleysMission handwritten on it in ink, in a Sharpie, and a drawn on blue ribbon. And I put it in my computer and I turned around and I saw these pictures. And I read the research that April had done. And to say it's moving is an understatement beyond understatements. Her question was, are you in? And my answer was, how could you not be? Of course I'm in.
The national statistic shows that 1 in every 4 girls by the age of 18 will have been sexually assaulted, and 1 in 6 boys. Boys tend to underreport because they are very afraid that they will be seen as the reason for the problem or as gay. And so it's been found that boys do underreport. But with that kind of statistic, the numbers are great. We have to get to the source of the problem. We have to engage the team at every level, not only the CAC team, the multidisciplinary team, law enforcement, DA's office, children and youth caseworkers, trauma therapists, and now Marley's Mission, which wasn't here a year ago, is now here as a great resource to help children learn to heal.
Sometimes it's just a great tool to use. We've had some really amazing aha moments, especially with Cody on a horse. One thing that's been really helpful was deepening that mind-body awareness. So learning how to regulate internally, and then the horse responds better to them.
When she's with those horses, it's magic. And I think that's a testament to Marley's mission. It's a safe place. She's made it her safe place. And most of our kids have made it their safe place as well. So
she's amazing with the horses. She has a definite connection and a definite, just her being around the horses, her demeanor around the horses, her sense of security that she feels. She could be surrounded by 4 horses and she feels really comfortable. And especially Strawberry, her and Strawberry have a very special relationship. There was a connection immediately, almost like the horse knew that she needed her and vice versa.
She wants to help. She doesn't have, I think, the voice yet to speak about it, but when she does see kids there who go to the mission, she's very curious as to what happened. She knows something bad happened. She doesn't ask. I don't think she's ready to know the bad things out there. The question that she posed to me and her counselor, Ann Cook, was, why am I the only one? Why did this bad thing happen only to me? And through the therapy drawings she saw of other kids that went to Ann, she saw, these drawings, and she said, what is this? And Ann said, these are from my other kids. And she said, there's more?
So there's this population that sometimes traditional therapy doesn't work by itself. It's good to have a trauma therapist and to work on the trauma in a clinical setting because there's things that they have to do in terms of working through the memory. But there's this beautiful new resource to use to help them feel supported and strong and attached to something again. That nice combination is a nice, together goes from a nice way for someone to begin to heal.
The child feels free to tell that horse anything, their deepest, darkest secrets, that maybe their friends might make fun of. But that horse isn't going to make fun of them. They're still going to love them no matter what. And it's just so powerful to be able to see the bond and session after session, watch what that child is able to do with that horse and then bring it into real life and be able to have a better relationship with their family and their friends and being able to trust and not be so afraid anymore.
I wonder what tomorrow is going to bring us. Tomorrow has brought us a lot of need. And every day since then has brought us a lot of need. When we look and see the kids that need our help, there are so many. There are so many.
There's such a need for different types of counseling for these kids. Clinical may work for some of them, but this last year the CAC saw over 800 children affected by abuse or neglect in northeastern Pennsylvania. I mean, that number startles me, that there's that many cases out there. But I do know she's strong, and she's the strongest person I've ever met. And she is an inspiration to everybody who meets her. To this day, when we're with each other and we happen to run into someone and they realize who she is, they're blown away, because that can't be the girl that happened to.
One child at a time, but we will make a difference. And the change will be a paradigm change. Even though it's one child at a time, it's going to have a very large impact, hopefully, on the future of our community and our world.
It's astounding. I can tell you there's 2 little girls that when they get old enough to understand what their mom has done, they're going to be so proud. I'm convinced that in the next year to 2 years, Marley's Mission will not only be a shining light on a hill in South Abington Township. It will be a beacon that spreads across this state and across this country and will be a model for others to follow. And the only way we get there is with everyone's support.